Hi, how are you? Welcome to Coffee and Coloring with Delilah. Ooh, that's a good title. I was just kidding, but it sounds like a good one, right? So today's coffee is again the Chike. Let me see. It is the high protein coffee by the brand Chike. It is 2 shots of espresso, 20 grams of whey protein, 1 gram of sugar. This is not the flavor that I am using right now. This is the chai latte. The one that I am drinking today is the chocolate peanut butter, which is actually the one I bought for David, and he rarely drinks it. If I make it for him, he'll drink it. But for him to ask for it is like, I don't know. He doesn't ask. Whenever he asks me for coffee, it's usually he wants to go out and drink coffee. I want to do some journal prompts with you guys. We won't do it today, but we will do it. Heck yeah, this is the layout for this week. I am absolutely in love with this. This reminds me of the Up House. If you've never seen the cartoon Up from Disney, you are missing out. I don't care if you're an adult, you're missing out. I'm an adult. I watched it as an adult. It makes me cry. I love that movie when I watch it. Okay, so my mom's parents are old, right? And when I say old, I mean it. They were born in the 20s. My grandfather was born in 1921. And my grandmother was born in 1920. Wait. They're 3 years apart. So she was born in 1923? I forget. Now I can't remember, but they were born in the early 20s. And, they lived in Mexico with extremely poor parents. I mean, it was the Great Depression era. Nobody had money. They met when they're 2 years apart. That's right. They're 2 years apart because they were 3 and 5 when they met. And my grandparents spent their entire lives together. They met when they were literal babies and toddlers, whatever, And they got married and they started their journey to America. I don't know if they got married before they started their journey, but they collected her 2 sisters. He's an only child, and they started their journey to America. They came here under the impression that they would be able to work in the fields. And at that time, there was this program where you could be a field worker, work for so many years or what have you, and then they would grant you American citizenship. So that's what my grandparents did. And unfortunately, my grandfather ended up getting cancer very early on through working in the fields. He ended up having to get his vocal cords removed, and he spoke with the machine my entire life. Also, my mom's entire life. She said she's never heard his real voice. So he would talk with that machine, and he sounded like a robot. And my grandparents spent their entire lives together until my grandfather passed away, and then 2 or 3 years later, my grandmother passed away. But watching their journey reminded me so much. Carl and Ellie are the characters in the movie Up. Watching their journey just reminded me so much of my grandparents. Even though Carl and Ellie had fertility issues and they weren't able to have children together, which was their dream to do together, they still spent their entire lives together. And it's just the sweetest movie until she passed away. And then he was on his own. And yeah, so if you've never seen it, watch it. I don't want to ruin the whole thing for you, but their story reminds me very much of my grandparents' story, and it makes me cry just thinking about it. And now I'm so excited that I get to do this this page thinking of them. Yeah. So another thing. Sorry, usually I have like a dedicated cup, but I don't know where it's at. And I didn't have time to wash the dishes before I left to my, before I started filming, if I wanted to make therapy. But I got mail. You guys. Okay, if you're new here, hi, I'm Delilah. Nice to meet you. I am down 200 pounds, 120 of those pounds on my own. And then the additional 80 pounds with the help of Mounjaro, being as though I am now diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic. I have PCOS 3 different types, which is insulin resistance, inflammatory, and cystic ovary. And they didn't find that one out until they actually went in to do my hysterectomy. And then they had to remove my left ovary because, well, this is your left side, but you know, they had to remove my left ovary because it was, the cysts that were on it were just too big. They could not remove them without damaging the ovary. So it was safer to remove the whole entire ovary because although I have no family history of it, so the likelihood is very, very low that I would develop ovarian cancer. They erred on the side of caution and just fully removed it, as opposed to dissecting it with the possibility of releasing cells into my body that could be cancerous. So that's what happened. That's how we discovered the 3rd type. On top of that, I also am hypothyroid, vitamin D deficient. I am iron deficient anemic, and I don't know, there's other stuff too. We're working on figuring out what's going on with my back. And I am developing some weird like bump on this is my carpal tunnel surgery line. It's very, very dull and hard to see in the camera. I think you can see this one better. It's like they try to go along the line, numb right now, but they try to go along the line of my palm line on both sides. This one is a little bit more like in the middle, but for some reason I've gotten this like weird blister. I don't know what it's from, but hopefully it'll go away soon. Anyways, so Delilah's crazy, just a little bit. She's a collector. She likes to collect things, as you can clearly see. And one thing that I just developed a severe case of FOMO over was seeing people on this journey using the telehealth service Mochi to get their compounded medications through, right? And when they would get them, they had these incredible like tumblers. Well, they looked incredible to me, right? And I'm also a cup fanatic, right? I don't have any in here because they are in the wash. Not in the wash, they're in the sink because I gotta wash them. I wash all of my tumblers no less than once a week, even if we haven't used them. I have all these cups that I just love. This one just sits in here because it's a gingerbread man and I love gingerbread people. But this one just sits in my office all the time. I use it mostly as like a pencil holder, but right now there's just this, I don't know how to say this, whey leave-in conditioner in here. And a screw and some random pills. I don't know. But anyways, so I collect like all these tumblers, right? Like I love tumblers. I have easily, I don't know, 20 of them. I'm only one person. I can only drink one at a time, but you'll never catch me with just one drink. I actually did just finish my water before I started this video. So usually I have a bottle of water plus whatever I'm drinking, or a tumbler of water plus whatever I'm drinking. But when I started seeing these all across the social medias, I was like, I don't take compound. I'm on the branded Mounjaro for my type 2 diabetes, right? Praise God. I will never, ever, ever be that person to be like, oh, I'm so glad, or like I want an illness or something like that. You know, there are people who do those things. I'm not one of those. I do like to know that if I'm suffering from something, that it has a name. I want a name to it. If it's just like, you know, random, I want to know random. But if it has a name, I want to know so that we can treat it, so that we can fix it, so we can move forward, right? And so when I found out that I was a type 2 diabetic, that was the first time that I'd ever really looked further into what a GLP-1 GIP is, because I got this prescription and I was like, great. Okay. I am more afraid of being a type 2 diabetic and the things that could come along with that than I am of taking any medication or any side effect of any medication. I am more afraid of the disease than I am of the solutions, right? So, but because luckily, and I don't say that lightly, and I don't mean it the way that it comes out, but I don't know how else to say it. But luckily, I did get this diagnosis to put a title to what was happening to my body and the insides and all of this stuff, right? So that we can work on correcting it, so that I can get on medication and we can, because if you have all these things going on in your body and you don't have a name for it, there is really no route to take to help you to cause you to feel better. Does that make sense? I just want to feel better. And when I got my type 2 diabetes diagnosis, I fell into the world of GLP-1s, and I do not take this medication to lose weight. However, I was already on a health journey. I had already lost 120 pounds on my own and was stuck forever and a day, could not lose a single more pound. And then I discovered that this can help. And it has helped me tremendously. And I've already lost 80 pounds. It's been almost a year. We are now in April, May, June. So I have 2.5 months to lose another 21 pounds. And we are going to do it because my goal is to be under 100 pounds lost since starting my GLP-1 at my 1 year anniversary. But since I don't take a compound, there was no way I was ever going to get one of these, right? So one day I just put it out on my community post, right? Because you guys, I know I do it a lot sometimes, but I post regularly on my community post, right? I just use it to give you guys small updates instead of making you wait for a video to come out. Or if it's just not enough information for a whole video, I will just throw it out there. Right now I have a little baby series that I just posted about music that touches my heart, and I share them with you in hopes that they will also touch yours, and just so you can get to know like the inner me just a little bit more. But anyway, so I posted about wanting one of these tumblers. I was like, I want one, and I don't know why I want one. And I explained that we don't know why, but I just knew that I did. And somebody had said, is there anybody who would be willing to give you one? And they said that out there, and I wasn't asking anybody to do that. Please don't misunderstand me. I wanted one, and I was just expressing that I want one, and I didn't know how I was going to get one, but I want one. And I was just talking, right? Like, that's what I do. I talk. And then Miss Alonda 180 here on YouTube, she heard my plea, and girl, I love you. I love you. I'm always calling you out because I don't know why, honestly. I don't know what it is, but I just so happen to watch your videos every time I'm about to film. So you're the last creator on my mind. Don't get me wrong. There's many of you that I absolutely adore and I love to watch, and I do actively watch and engage with your content. It just so happens that I'm not watching it right before I start filming. So it's not the last thing on my mind. And if you know anything about ADHD, you understand what I mean. The last thing that entered your brain is the only thing you can think about, right? Like when I'm sitting here talking about things, I can't bring up anybody else's head in my mind because the last person that I saw is who is stuck in here. Just like that one day when I was talking about Jasmine, Jasmine Flowers here on YouTube, incredible content creator. If you want to check out somebody who's also on a GLP-1 journey, who is not type 2 diabetic. She one day talked about these Eggo waffles. I have a box full of a box of stuff that I've been talking about on this because I wanted to keep them to do like an empties video. But the box is becoming way too overgrown. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Maybe I'll just, I don't know, maybe, I could just cut this out, right? And I could just keep this piece. Anyways, she talks about these all the time. She especially likes the strawberry ones. I am more fond of the chocolate ones than I am of the strawberry ones. David really likes the strawberry ones over the chocolate ones, which is fine. Everybody has their own tastes. But, so I called her out one day because it was on my mind. But I please don't misunderstand me. I'm not doing it because I don't love you. I do. I adore you. I mean, I love me some downsizing diva. I am very actively there during your lives because I love the engagement that we're able to instill there. I seriously am having a brain fart right now and I can't think of anybody else's name, but I promise you, I do watch a lot of other content creators and I do have deep admiration for a lot of you. However, Alonda just happens to be the person who I watch usually before I start doing this. And I don't know, maybe her uploading schedule just aligns with my recording days that way, and that's the way it happens. I don't really know, but anyways. Look what I got! Hold on, cause she told me. Yes! Hold on. These are the ice, like the frozen thingy-mabobbers. Ice packs, that's the word. These are the ice packs that you put in the freezers, or they put in the freezer. So when they send you your compounded medication, it comes with these to keep them cold inside. Okay, that'd be pushing it. But look, I can use one ice ice pack with, maybe not. Oh no, yeah, you can. You guys know, David and I do road trips, but they don't align with when I do my injections. I'm gonna figure this out just because I want to have a reason why I have it. Alonda, thank you so much. You have no idea how much this means to me, truly, because I can't explain my obsession with things, and I can't explain my desire for things sometimes, but I was seriously suffering from some FOMO, like for real, and you really came through, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you. And now, Delilah. I don't want to squish it, but now Delilah has her own. I'm going to wash this up, and I'm going to put it on my shelf behind me somewhere. But I'm going to put the ice packs inside the freezer for when I need to take my bad boys with me, because there's going to come a time where I'm going to travel, right? And I'm going to need to take it with me. Although I have a travel case that is in my suitcase, you never know, right? Like, I'm going to try. I'm smelling an experiment, you guys. I know, I'm weird. Sorry. I have days. I talked about this the other day in my life. So if you guys don't know and you didn't catch it, I do have mental health diagnoses, okay? It's gonna make me cry. Why is this gonna make me cry? Like, I was never planning on really talking about this today, but I guess we're gonna. So I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, but I also have ADHD. I also have overcompulsive disorder. I also have PTSD, which is what post-traumatic stress syndrome or disorder. I don't really know. I always forget what it's really called. I also have generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. I don't know if those are like the correct names for. I also have binge eating disorder. I am a food addict, and nobody gets to 300 plus pounds without being a food addict. Nobody. Whether you choose to believe that or not is fine, but there is something going on that is causing you to go to food to comfort yourself or to escape or whatever it is that you are using food to do. Nobody gets to this size without having some sort of addiction to food. It might not even be the food itself. It might just be what food does for you. I don't really know, but I do know that I actively am in therapy every single week to work through the things that go on inside of my noggin. However, the last couple days I've been sort of on this like, I don't know. I've been sort of on this like kind of strange, like this like hyper side of my personality, you know, like I don't know how to explain it. However, when you go into like a manic state, stuff like this can happen. And I don't know. But anyways, so super excited to get to do this one. And then we are going to we're going to go over the April. My foot fell asleep, you guys. And this is not fun. You guys know whenever I do this journal, I use the Pentel Matte Hop K110. It's the first time I've ever noticed that. Yeah, I guess that's the series number. But I have this set, which is the original plus the sweet set combined together. And I absolutely love this. I really, really love the way that it works. My biggest complaint with it, or really maybe my only complaint with it, well, okay, I have two complaints with it. One is the color that comes out when you color with it dries down to a darker color. So it's not the true color, which is fine. The other issue that I have with it is once you use it, it develops this ink cap, right? Which is no big deal most of the time. On some pens, it's not a big deal, but this type of pen, it's like it almost feels like acrylic, the way that it writes and the way that the cap gets stuck on there. I don't really know because this is all in Japanese, so I don't know what it's saying, and I read Japanese, sorry. But whenever I use them, I always have to have a scrap piece of paper or I will use my hand because as you can see, now it's barely starting to write because of that gel cap that gets on there. So every time I use them, I always try to at least rub the edge off to get the cap off. See, every one of them are like that. And you can see the ones where I was able to get like a good amount of the cap off. But I didn't get it all off. And because of that, see, this one is almost all the way off. So it started working faster. So because of that, I do have to always have scrap paper or I just do it on my hand and then it just washes off really well. Those are my two complaints and they're not big deals at all. But that is, the complaints that I have with these. And recently I've also been using my link. Come on. Okay. My link shine. I use these whenever I want to add shimmer to something because, I don't know if you can see that, but they write like in this glittery. Oh, what is that? That is a bug of some sort. Flying bug. Get back here so I could smash you. They have like this shimmer, like this glitter shimmer effect to them. And I really, really like that on certain things. So I do use those occasionally. But yeah, I really like them. So, Alonda, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. And Mia, thank you for putting it out there because I really wasn't trying to ask anybody. I was just talking out loud and I was wondering even like, do they sell them? Like, I'm going to call Mochi and ask. And then the whole thing with the keto pharmacy and all of that happened. And I was like, okay, I'm probably not going to ask now, but you know, so that is something that I just got right now in the mail and I'm super excited about it. I literally was bringing all my stuff to the office so that I can start filming. And then I get a notification from the post office that my mail is here. So I was like, and I went outside, got the mail, came in with my box all happy. And then I came here, sat down, and here I am. Okay, if you guys have ever had this brand of the Chike coffee, please, 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 please let me know what your favorite flavors are. I have the chai latte, I have sweet cream, and I have the chocolate peanut butter. So far, my favorite flavor has been the chocolate peanut butter, which is really weird because I'm not a big peanut butter. Like, peanut butter's okay, but I'm not a big, like, ooh, peanut butter. But this one's actually really, really good. It reminds me a lot of, if you guys have a Scooter's coffee, which is something we don't have a lot of, like, near me. There's one that's like 25, 30 minutes away, and I'm not driving all the way over there just for that coffee. But one time on one of our road trips, David and I seen a Scooter's coffee, and I was in a lot of pain that day. That was when I was having all my bleeding issues. And I was in a lot of pain, and I was actively losing a lot of blood at that time. And I just felt really weak. And he was like, let's get some fluids in you. They didn't have any gas stations around, like really close, right? So the first thing we saw was this coffee, like drive-through. So we pulled into Scooters, and then we ended up getting, I asked them, hey, you know, what's your favorite flavor? Which is often, a lot of times I'll do when I go places, like I'll ask, what's your favorite thing? Or if they don't know, or if they give too many things, I'm like, okay, well, what's the most popular? Outside of food, whenever it's food, I always tell them without onions, because you can't get the flavor button, you know, and without mayonnaise. What is your favorite thing or your most popular thing? So they recommended this peanut butter coffee, right? So we got it, and David and I shared it, and it was so good. I also asked them, can I get 2 cups of water, please? And then we threw in a packet of electrolytes, and I felt so much better after. But that coffee was so good. And this reminds me a lot of it. And I just, you know, topped it off with some zero sugar Ready Whip. There you go. And I actually bought that zero sugar Ready Whip, zero sugar Ready Whip, just to try with these waffles. And we've been using it for coffee, or I've been using it for coffee, and it's really good. So what are we grateful for today? Or this week? Even though this is a Monday through Sunday, I always put whatever happens on Monday prior to post or filming my video. I always put it on the Sunday line. I know that this is really for Monday, but oh no, I'm going to do it in blue. Yippee. Skippy. Mochi. Tumbler. Arrived. You guys really have no idea just how much this really means to me, and just how excited I am, and I'm super grateful for it. So it is 100% coming into shoot, my sticker machine's in the other room, but I'm gonna make a sticker of it actually. So I'm also gonna draw it on here. Oops. Moch. Okay, I didn't leave myself enough room, but I'll know what it means. You know what? I'll color it in, because what I actually really love about these pins is that you can color it in. And then once it's fully dried down, and I'll show you what I mean. Once it's completely fully dried down, it's not right now, but once it is, I'll do something for you to show you. Okay. So Friday we went to the doctor. Okay. Spine doc. And you guys will see what happened at the spine doc on Monday. And then Wednesday is when David and I took our road trip to Waco. Ooh, and that pistachio. Pistachio latte was thebomb.com. No joke. It was so freaking good. Like so, so good. Oh, also had my girls' date. It's me, okay. And then I painted my little penguin guy, and they are glazing it, so it'll be ready in 7 to 10 days for me to pick up. So yeah, oh yeah, hold on. We did our second live. Yeah. So for those of you that don't know, in the month of April, every Saturday at 10 a.m. Central Time, I am doing a live here on YouTube if you would like to check it out. So let's get into coloring. So this is the final outcome. I love the way it came out. I'm just so excited. I wish I knew how to draw. Then I would draw on, you know, the rooster, like weather vane that houses have, because that's what the up house has, the rooster weather vane. I don't know how to draw, so I'm not going to do it, but this is the outcome. I love the way it came out. So for this week, I mean, a loss is a loss, right? And we are going to celebrate that loss. We are at 282.3, which is a loss of 0.7 pounds. That's okay. I mean, something is better than nothing, right? Which means we are 200.7 pounds down. I don't ever count the points when I'm talking about like the weight as a whole, except for when I'm giving you these numbers. Outside of that, I don't count it. But I do hope that you're conquering your own health goals while I work on conquering mine. Hope you guys are having a great day. I would love to hear all about it down in the comments below. You already know I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is that you want to share. I would love to be there to support you through it the way that you support me. I just really want to be there for you and hug you through it. I'm going to give you your digital hugs and hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day. Today, let's go ahead and drop a balloon. Is there a balloon? is, let's go ahead and drop a balloon emoji in the comments down below. Lets me know you made it this far, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.